Like, this is a weird thing to do. I don't know if it's a funny thing to do, but it's a weird thing. You know, I've seen people talking to big cameras before. Most of them are parked on the side of the road. So I don't really know if it's a good idea to film videos while I'm driving, but I like doing it. So why do this? Why do I always ask myself? That's the real question. So one of the first things that comes to my mind is like just to ask myself, why am I always asking why? I mean, it's good to ask why, but like when it comes to trying to do like a little vlog like this, you know, it's good to have your intentions on your mind. It's good to be aware of what your goals are, I guess. And maybe, yeah, like I do want to know what my desire is to even want to do this. But at a certain point, you should just do what you want to do. At a certain point, it does you no good to excessively think about, why am I doing this? What am I trying to gain from it? Oh shit. Sometimes it's not about gaining anything. And sometimes it's just about doing it. And yeah, like, what's the likelihood that many people are going to see this? That is a question that I guess is natural for everyone to think about or ask about. This dude's just straight jogging in the middle of the street. But to base all your actions on whether it's like gonna be seen or read is just gonna stifle your development of your skills. That's probably my biggest insight from this week. And why is this taking so long? You know, we're all on our own journey, right? So whenever you come across these insights, you know, for you, that's what the great benefit is, but that's why it serves you so much to talk with as many people as you can and hear their experiences and hear them out. So like, my big insight was simply to see more of the parallels between carpentry and writing, which is to say, to gain a greater appreciation and understanding of craftsmanship as a whole. You know, just the whole, or doing any kind of art or craft. And I mean, I feel what I mean is to include arts and crafts as a skill, you know, as disciplines which people commit to. You know, painting is an art. You know, many instruments and musicianships are, you know, arts. We have no problem calling them that. But what is an example of an art that, you know, maybe is not generally considered an art as such? I mean, we have no problem calling things art, artistic, but what about crafting, the craftsmanship of it? What is the crafting aspect of that? Crafting is the actual making with the hands, you know? And like, we call things trade, like carpentry is a trade and welding is a trade, but there's a craft to that trade. And you know, you'll see some welds and they're quick and they work, but you know, they don't have that craftsmanship touch to it. Whereas you'll see like some welds where, God, like, it's just so, I don't know much about welding, but I've seen welds that are just so good, so coiled and so tight, wrapped even, you know, where I'm just, and then I've seen others where I'm just like, wow, like, you know, and from what I do know is carpentry, and I'm talking about my own work right here, you know, there's been so many times where I'll make a cut and I'm like, wow, it's such sloppy work. And recently I've been reviewing work that I've made in the past, and I see writing, which at the time was like, for me, it was like I'm expanding my boundaries, I'm trying to really find my voice. It was valuable, but I see the sloppiness, I see, you know, the novice aspect of it, and I'm still there. I read poems from a few months ago, and I see room for improvement. And with the blog, I had so much learning to do about just all aspects of it, and there's still so much more to learn. Like, I've just barely begun to scratch any kind of surface. And the insight is simple. The insight is simple. If I was constantly focusing on how my blog is not performing, how it's not getting site hits, how it's not, getting commented on, if I let that be my metric of success, then I wouldn't be writing. And if I wasn't writing, then I wouldn't be working on the craft. And without good craftsmanship, I wouldn't be able to create anything that would sell, if that was my goal. My goal isn't even just that. I mean, that is something that I would like to be an outcome, a result of what I make. What I want to focus on is the craftsmanship itself. So my goal, my intention is now just focus on the actual process of writing. The actual putting of words to page, just writing to write. I want to get out of my head as much as I am, or blocking my head, getting in my own way, and just put my thoughts onto page. Not everything needs to be put online, but I need to be writing every day. The craftsmanship, creating, in and of itself, is what's important. Not what everything else just follows as a result, and it's a maybe. And that's really, and the important thing is that if you focus too much on what might happen, the things that come of themselves, you're gonna lose total sight of what the entire core is, and that is writing, just writing, or creating, whatever it is, playing the instrument, practicing. Just do it. Keep going and growing, my friends.